If this was a baby gender reveal video, I'm sure by now you know exactly what gender the baby is already. Well, except that it's not. It's not a gender reveal video at all. But it's about a cutie though, a pretty looking baby boy. Before we jump straight into it, I think it's going to be nicer if we change into the official Joy Pixels colors. What do you think? I think it's going to be nicer. So if you're ready, I am ready too. So let's switch. In 3, 2, 1, switch. Yeah, this looks more like it. Let's go. You see, after my last video, I felt so pumped up that I just wanted to jump straight into this one right away. And the reason is because I felt so encouraged by you all, my lovely subscribers. Your comments on the last video was highly encouraging. Some of you even shared that video to other people so that they can see. I feel so honored. Thank you very much. Remember, one of the core highlights of this channel is growth, so I'll try to bring you brief updates regarding how the channel is performing with every appearance I make here. Before publishing my last video, the channel had just 22 subscribers, but after the release of that video, there was over 300% growth in the channel. As of the time of recording this video, the channel has over 60 subscribers already. Thanks to you all, it can only be possible because of you. In this particular video, my mode of delivery will be to give you a little background to the story. Then I'll be taking you through the things that happened before, during and after the photo shoot. I'll be doing this in such a way that I'll be comparing the challenges I faced and how I was able to pull through, sort of. You see, there's this lovely couple I'm friends with. That particular evening, I got a text from the husband inviting myself and my wife to join them for a walk. Of course, I took my camera along so I can take a few pictures as we walk. But little did I know that it was their wedding anniversary. Charlie, love is sweet pa. Especially from Ghana. Massa. I'm in love. Hopefully that gives you the idea that the couple I'm speaking about, they are from Ghana. My Ghanaian people, I greet now. I think the greeting is Edison Eyeboko. I'm sure that's a response. Mind you, as of that time, I literally just got my camera and it was the first time I was taking it outdoors. Some of the basic and fundamental operations of a camera I still didn't understand, but I still want to take pictures regardless. Another challenge I had to adjust to was the rapidly changing weather. I mean, it was in the evening of a spring, so it was getting dark quite quickly. I eventually took a couple of photos for the couple, and after editing the photos, the couple seemed to like them. Here are the photos for your viewing. And that was where it all started. Days later, a former colleague of mine came across those pictures and they seemed to have captured her interest somehow. So she tried to reach out to me through the couple, saying that she needed my services to take her a few pictures. Guess what my response was? I'm not ready. For obvious reasons, taking your friends a couple of pictures when you are just taking a walk is very different from being invited as a photographer to officially shoot a session. And for me, the whole idea of being invited as a photographer for a session was just a little bit too much at that time. Plus, I've never done anything like that before. Then I stumbled on the YouTube video made by Laura BC, and that video seemed to give me the kind of push that I needed. The main point she emphasized in that video is that it's going to be a mistake for a beginner photographer to turn down opportunities for whatever excuses there may be, and that seems to be like the things I needed to hear at that time. Plus, the couple themselves told me they've seen my work already. If they're not pleased with what they have seen, then they wouldn't bother to reach out to me. So that also gave me some kind of confidence boost. So I agreed to go ahead with the shoot and I started preparation immediately by watching lots of YouTube videos. And in those videos, I was able to get a lot of useful tips on how to take pictures of a baby. And I also gained insight into what to expect on the day. Then I also thought of something to make it a little bit more interesting rather than being just plain. Something to spice the pictures up a little bit. And in photography, we call these things props. Props could be anything at all. It could be your handbag, it could be flowers, it could be a jacket you are holding on to. Just something to keep it very, very fun. And in this case, we got a car. Yes, a Maserati precisely. I was going to get one so that I can use for consequent photo shoots, but I don't have enough space to store such up. So I encouraged the parents to get it. And that was exactly what we did. So the big question popped. How much do you charge? Honestly, I felt so happy but confused at the same time. I felt so happy because someone appreciates what I do so much that they're willing to put a price on it, but confused because I don't know exactly what to charge. Truly speaking, I didn't want to end up naming a price that was going to sound like I was overcharging for my services, and at the same time I didn't want to undercharge. Plus, this is the kind of photo shoot I felt like I could have done completely for free. Remember, it's the first time I'm being officially invited as a photographer. Then one thing was that I was underrating a lot of my work because I basically operate on my phone. All my operations in terms of editing happens on my phone. So I tend not to put any value to it. I use a very fantastic phone, by the way. The client kept asking me about the price, and at some point I had to tell her that just allow me to do my work, and then when I'm done, hopefully you like it, then we can start talking about price at that time, because if we keep emphasizing on price at this stage, I may just end up pulling out of the deal. The main challenge here is how to pose the baby. Unlike an adult, you can tell an adult what to do, describe it for them, or at the very least you show them. But for a baby, it just does not work that way. As you expect, most babies will want to cling on to their parents, so you need something to distract them. So to do that, toys may help you. So I took this smiley face along. Trust me, this baby was never interested in this thing. He didn't even look at it for a second. You know what the baby really likes? The TV remote control. The second challenge is the camera mode to shoot in. Don't worry, I won't be too technical with my terms here, and trust me, you can understand this. You see, the digital camera has three main modes: the full automatic mode, the semi-automatic mode, and the manual mode. You see, the automatic mode is pretty much like your phone. Just dip your hand in your pocket, clean the lens if you want to, and then start shooting your photos. The same thing with the camera. Just switch on the camera and then start pressing the shutter. The camera produces very nice images for you. However, the manual mode is a little bit more than that. What do I mean? As a photographer shooting in manual mode, you basically have to figure out three components and make them work together. The first one is the exposure, the second one is the aperture, and the third one is the shutter speed. As for the exposure, it simply means how dark or bright you want your images to be. As for the aperture, you basically determine how blurry you want your background to be, or how sharp you want the entire image to look. And the third one, which is the shutter speed, it basically means how fast or slow you want the camera to capture an image. Did you get it now? Alright, let's take some photos. Arguably, the manual mode is the best mode a photographer can shoot in. However, for a beginner photographer like me, the manual mode may be a little bit too much, and that is why the semi-automatic mode comes in. Unlike the manual mode, where the photographer has to figure out three components, in the semi-automatic mode, the photographer only needs to figure out just one of the components, and then the camera handles the other two. In this video, I only reference two of the semi-automatic modes. The first one is the one that prioritizes the shutter speed. That is, it gives the photographer the total control of how fast or how slow the photographer is willing to capture an image. And the second one is the aperture priority mode, which gives the photographer a total control of how blurry or dark sharp he wants an image to look. If you are now to take our mobile phone and take a picture of a cyclist who is riding fast down the street, more than likely the image of that cyclist on our mobile phone is going to be blurry. But if a photographer is shooting at shutter priority mode, the camera gives the photographer an edge or a total control of how to set that camera to match the speed of the cyclist. With that, the camera is able to produce a very sharp image of that cyclist without any blur at all. And if you've ever seen these sweet looking pictures where you have light trails, all over the picture, probably at an urban city, yes, these pictures can also be captured using the shutter priority mode, because the camera is basically set to capture those images at a very slow speed. So as those vehicles are moving past the street, the camera is taking the time to capture those images, forming those beautiful imagery. And I'm sure you must have seen those very beautiful portraits where you have the background completely blurred out. Yes, it produced a very sweet looking effect to our sight whenever we see them. That can easily be achieved using the aperture priority mode. Now, a very quick question for you: which one of these two modes do you think I shot in? Is it the one that prioritizes speed, or the one that prioritizes how well I blur my background? Now, something to consider is that my subject is a baby, and the baby can be fast moving, and also they can be very unpredictable. Which one of them do you think? Yes, I also thought of shooting in the shutter priority mode because I wanted to rely heavily on how quickly I can shoot those images, especially that the baby can just move in any direction without me being prepared for it. But trust me, when I tried it, I almost regretted it. I took a couple of pictures, and by the time I was looking into my viewfinder, then I saw that all of them are completely blurred out. My heart skipped a beat for a while. I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? very quickly without wasting any time. I just went back to the mode I'm very comfortable in, and that's the aperture priority mode, and that was where I completed all my shoots. Two locations were selected, the indoor and the outdoor. The main challenge with the indoor was that there wasn't enough light for my camera to operate in, and I didn't have any external flash to block onto the camera, and I know well enough to know that it's a very bad idea to use the flash that is attached to the camera itself. The light from that flash is just always too harsh, so I have to rely heavily on my ability to edit and then introduce more light during my editing using my phone. As for the outdoors, the sun out there was just too harsh. It was like a 12 o'clock sun, so to solve that problem I basically just had to find a shed where we have a little bit of shadow to shoot pictures in. The entire session lasted for about 2 hours. We had to take some break in between so as to allow the child a little bit of rest so that we don't exhaust him. And in all, I took about 600 shots and 35 of those pictures were eventually selected. For me, I'm at this stage where I still, take up to 1,000 pictures, even if I need just 50 of them. I know as I get better, then I can probably get to that stage where even if I need just 5 pictures, I'm able to shoot 10 pictures, and I'm sure that the 10 I've taken will be enough. Or if you're a photographer, in the comment section, let me know if this is how it is when you're shooting portraits, that you have to take a whole lot of pictures and then you select from them. And for me, taking picture is the easier part, but the selection is always a headache. Even if you're not a photographer and you have a very good idea of how these things have been done, please let me know. At that time, I edit my pictures mainly on my phone, and my phone is more than capable of doing a decent job, but I needed to improve my workflow. That is where the computer comes in handy, and I look forward to the work this computer is able to produce for me. One thing in particular the parents told me was that they wouldn't want their skin tone to be particularly altered during the editing, and I took that on board. By the time the editing was done, they absolutely love it. By the way, I use the Google Pixel 6 Pro, and that phone is absolutely amazing. I think it's one of the best phones that has ever been made. In terms of the image quality it's able to capture, it's very amazing. The video quality, very, very lovely. When it comes to the editing, the ability to remove things from the background and all that, it does it so nicely. I've seen the launch of the Google Pixel 9 series now, and I'm in love with the design of that phone. I wish I can get my hands on them. It's just that I don't have enough excuses to ditch my Google Pixel 6 Pro for the 9 now, but I look forward to having them. If not a 9, maybe a 10. Definitely, if I'm to be an ambassador for any mobile phone at all, it has to be the Google Pixel series. Those mobile phones are well made. I mean, I've dropped mine so many times. I have never gotten a crack on my screen. It's insane, the kind of quality that comes from that phone. I basically choose my phone because of screen and then the camera quality, and it has never disappointed me in any way. I've dropped my phone so many times. In fact, there are times that after dropping it, I would just tell myself that, oh, this is the end, like this is the final, I have to buy a new phone. Then I'll pick up my phone, it's still running so smoothly. I absolutely love it. Go and get yourself a Google Pixel. I mean, if you can get yourself the Google Pixel 9, it would be nice, but if it is just the Google Pixel 6 Pro you are able to get your hands on, they are very beautiful. As you would expect, after the job was completed, the question about how much I was going to get paid sufficed again. And honestly, even at that stage, I still didn't know whether to mention a price or just to let it slide. But I got paid anyway. But before I get into the details of exactly how much I got paid, I think it's time for you to enjoy and see the pictures. Please enjoy the following slides. So the parents insisted that they had to pay for my services, so I got paid. Honestly, I wish to tell you exactly how much I got paid, but I just think, what's the fun in doing that? However, let me indulge you. I'll give you a clue so that I can guide you closely to knowing exactly how much I got paid. So I drive a full-size sedan or a saloon, whichever one it is called, depending on the area where you stay. And this car has a fuel capacity of 65 liters. How much I got paid was able to fuel that car, completely to a full tank. And even after driving that car for a few miles, I'm still able to top it up. But you need to bear in mind that I only buy my fuel from Shell, and I only use the recommended diesel for it, which is the premium one. So I think that should guide you into knowing exactly how much I got paid. In conclusion, I really want to say that I wish the child very good health. I wish he grows up to like those photos, and I really want to thank the parent for trusting me enough to get the job done as well. And as for you, my viewers, thank you very much for watching this video to the very end again. I will definitely see you on the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and especially I would like to read your comments in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Switch. Yeah, this most I'll do this in such a way that I'll compare the challenges I face with wow. My ambulance. You see, there's this lovely. You see, there's this lovely day, and they seem to have captured our interest. What's captivated? Pictures. They captivated. Why am I saying captivated now? Full of pictures when you are taking a walk and being invited. But in this case, we got a car. Yes, a Maserati Insipidus. The second challenge is the camera mode to shooting. Don't worry, I won't be too technical with my terms here. And that was where it all started. Days later, a former colleague of mine seemed to have come across those pictures, and they seem to have captivated our interest as well. Captivated. I'm running an advert for Google now. See you on the next one. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's just do it one more time, just to make sure we got it right.